name is Jim. I was an aeronautic research engineer at NASA from 1989 to 2004. I was recently diagnosed with bone cancer and told that I have 5 months left to live, approximately. I don't want to die with the weight of having concealed information from my human brothers and sisters on my mind, so I'm going to tell you what I know.
So what we're going to be covering is some really out there stuff, so please try to bear with me here. Today we're going to be unveiling the truth behind the channel NASA Jim 108. You may have heard of this channel recently from Top 15's video on unsolved YouTube mysteries. Before I spoil the magic for you, allow me to explain what this whole thing is about and give you a basic timeline to work with. NASA Jim 108 is a channel that started uploading in 2008 with a description that reads, "These are a series of videos that my client requested to be released after his death." As you may have noticed from the clip I played earlier, the videos follow a man who claims to be a dying NASA aeronautics engineer named Jim. Jim explains that before his death, he wanted to expose secrets that the government has been hiding from the public concerning alien life. His most popular uploads are a series of 4 videos titled "Dying NASA Scientist Reveals Truth About Life on Mars." In it, Jim goes on to explain his knowledge of telepathic, subterranean Martians he calls the Greys, and how they've managed to form a parasitic relationship with a good chunk of mankind. He even makes references to actual NASA scientists and even goes as far as to claim that world leaders have been in contact with these beings and purposely stage wars and genocide in exchange for extended life. After these initial uploads, the series abruptly ends, and instead, a video from Jim's attorney, the person supposedly running the channel, is posted.
The family of my client has taken out a temporary restraining order prohibiting me from uploading further footage as it contains video that they consider private and possibly damaging to their reputations. If the judge rules otherwise, then I will immediately resume the upload of materials as requested by my client in his last will and testament. Since I began posting these clips, I've received a wide variety of questions regarding the identity of my client and the authenticity of the uploaded media. My client specifically requested that his identity remain concealed until October 1st, 2008. As his attorney, I am legally bound by this request, and as his friend, I have no desire to go against his final wishes. Thank you.
Now, Jim's whole name was never revealed, unless it was and the video or information was deleted. The next several uploads are of Jim showing what he claims to be footage of an alien who's taken a human host, an instructional video on how to contact these beings, and a rather odd video where a very unhappy woman calls Jim, threatening him to keep quiet.
Because if you keep doing this, you're not going to last long, and it's not going to be pretty, alright? And if you die tomorrow, you're going to be lucky, okay? So you better stop doing what you're doing and leave it alone. You don't understand that you're surrounded. You don't even know what you're talking about, alright? If you do this anymore, do you want the stomach to start getting worse? Jim, do you want to have to go visit the doctor pretty soon and find out what he has to say if you don't shut the fuck up?
The next videos cover a lot of different topics. One of them even explaining the origin of materialism in humans, and this time we had a puppet to introduce Jim.
Kids, it's me, Little Hobo, and boy do I got a special little treat for you today. It's a clip from your favorite NASA scientist, Jim. So sit back and enjoy
The next videos are about a mothership, which Jim claims will carry humans away from Earth in a rapture-like apocalypse, a video on how to neutralize an alien, and a video showing an audio clip of one of the Greys. Everything I've talked about so far was uploaded between 2008 and 2011. After that, many consider the NASA Jim channel to be dead, up until a few months ago where they uploaded their first video in 5 years. This one was titled Omega Phase and showed the image of a clock over some music. Jim was not present this time. Okay, so like I said, this is some pretty out there stuff and a lot of people don't know what to make of it. Of course, the usual theories have come up, saying that this person is simply mentally ill or a stereotypical conspiracy theorist, both of which are actually wrong. If you watch the later NASA Jim uploads, you notice that they start to deviate from the familiar voiceover and still image format that Jim used for the majority of his uploads. You'll also notice a shift to religious imagery as opposed to the usual alien-related stuff, almost like the creator was getting bored with doing the same old thing. The first major shift was when the puppet I mentioned earlier appeared, the one who called himself Little Hobo. It turns out that this character has shown up in more places than just NASA Jim 108's channel.
Hey everybody! This is the first in the Little Hobo Red Reader coloring book series. It's about a little satellite that goes to space. Hope you enjoy it. Strap in and blast off!
What you're looking at is a video that was supposedly deleted from the NASA Jim channel called The Loneliest Probe. You can find another upload of this on funnyordie.com, which credits the video to a Duncan Trussell. For those of you who don't know, Duncan Trussell is an American comedian mostly known for his podcast The Duncan Trussell Family Hour and his many collaborations with Joe Rogan. Now, there isn't a lot out there, but you can even find pictures of Duncan performing on stage with the puppet. It's also believed that the woman playing the attorney in the clip I showed you earlier is actually comedian Natasha Leggero. Leggero was co-host of the Lavender Hour podcast alongside Duncan Trussell prior to the release of his current show. It's all speculation at this point, but I'll let you be the judge.
The family of my client has taken out a temporary restraining order prohibiting me from uploading further footage as it contains video that they consider private and possibly damaging to their reputations.
No, I think there's going to be more women coming in the forefront very soon because women have to do everything now that men have to do.
Yes.
And like the idea of saying woman comic is like...
I also found this interview from the Reptile Chat podcast with a moderator from one of Duncan's sites in which he discusses the creation of NASA Jim. If you want to watch the whole thing, I'll leave a link down below.
He talked about it with me in 2010 or maybe 2011 when we first hung out once. We had a beer at Caroline's after Natasha Leggero's set, and we were talking about the NASA Jim videos, and he was like, "Yeah, those are fun to make." You know, he put them out there because it's so ridiculous the kind of videos that people will believe. Like they'll see things, so he wanted to troll and throw something together so quick that was so just a random mishmash of random nonsense to look weird with the expected result of people going, "Oh, well, let's look up these coordinates and find this thing. It's a secret message from hell," or whatever. And that's exactly what happened.
Here's a little audio clip from one of Duncan's appearances from 2013, just to give you an idea of his attitude towards these sorts of things.
If you change the name Jesus to Ladar and just say the exact same religion but with a different name, it sounds mad. Like, I've been washed in the blood of Ladar. That sounds crazy.
Who's Ladar?
Ladar? Who the fuck knows? But when you listen to Christian radio...
Fuck is Ladar?
Ladar, you just make up... This is what I've been doing. I've been making up names to replace like Jesus and God. Because if you listen to Christian radio, they say some crazy shit.
So there you have it. NASA Jim isn't some crazy conspiracy theorist or anything along those lines. And if you're one of the many people who claim to have been affected by his videos, you can stop overthinking now because I promise that you did not come into contact with aliens because of him. I'm not personally a follower of Duncan Trussell, so I'm not sure if he's ever publicly spoken about NASA Jim, but if you happen to know if he did, then let me know in the comments down below, and feel free to link this video to anyone wondering about the whole dying NASA scientist thing. Sharing is caring, please and thank you, and with that being said, I'll see you all in the next video.